Alright guys, so for the bell ringer, it's up there. For the first few minutes, I want y'all to finish your letter to Patrick Henry. That letter, oh, you were here over here. I'll get the papers and all that for you. But everybody that was here yesterday, we did the reviewing ideas and terms, questions 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B. We'll go over all that in just a second. So at the bottom, you were supposed to write a letter to Patrick Henry as if you were James Madison. You were persuading him to join the side of the Federalists, trying to get him to approve the Constitution. So I'm going to try to take a couple minutes, go ahead and finish that, and then we'll start going over the answers from yesterday. And I want to try to go kind of quick in this. I'll put this stuff up in Canvas for y'all if you miss it. But I want to start talking about the Bill of Rights today. So we're going to do the first 5 amendments. How many amendments are in the Bill of Rights?
13.
There's 10. Oh, good job. There's 10 total. How many amendments are there overall? 27. There you go. Yes, sir. You're on it today. So I'm going to walk around, make sure everybody's actually got some questions from yesterday. I'll get Mr. Dupont set back up.
I can see the book for the letter. What page?
It was on page 60 for the answers.
No, I got I got a question. I need like the letter thing.
It was on page 60 as well. It's number 5. Ian, who other than Ian and Christian, who wasn't here yesterday? So yesterday we talked about the start of the Constitution and the preamble and all that other stuff. Stay on track, fellas. So I'm gonna start walking around, making sure everybody's got some stuff going. Don't forget that was gonna be a small grade in itself, the letter. That was gonna be its own grade.
Did you change that? Did you change the question?
No, this is what we're doing today after the Bill of Rights. If you need to see what the question is, it's on page 60. It's number 5 under the reviewing ideas and terms. So don't forget in our interactive notebook. Here's all the notes that we did over the Constitution, the preamble. We talked about all the articles that make the Constitution. When you turn it over, you answer those 6 questions right there. At the bottom, you were supposed to leave yourself enough space to write this letter. So I'll give y'all a couple minutes, like I said. Start doing that, and then while y'all are doing that, page 60, number 5. So while y'all are doing that, I will start passing out the closed notes that we're going to do. 1, 2, and 3, A and B on both of them. few more minutes on that, guys, and we'll jump into the lessons. Answer the questions. didn't Patrick Henry support the Constitution? You learned that from yesterday from the readings?
I feel that book.
What you got? What you got to? But read it out.
It says, my political courtesy leads me to ask who authorized us to speak the language of we the people instead of we the state.
Don't forget, Patrick Henry was in favor of having a stronger state government. He didn't want the states to lose the power. He was scared when the central government or the national government got too big that the states wouldn't have any more power. They would lose all their freedoms, their rights, everything that they were getting to do. That's why he was so adamant about adding in a Bill of Rights. He wanted certain things to be guaranteed and protected as things go on. So we're about to start going over these questions now from yesterday. Grab my book from my board. So 1A. I think I hit it like that. So 1A, why did the framers establish a ratification process that bypassed Congress and the state legislators? Why did they want to omit them? What was their reasoning? Anybody have 1A they want to share? They would have a better chance of ratifying the Constitution by accosting the people directly. So while they were in Constitutional Convention, they were only talking to X amount of people. There's still a broader set of people that were out there within the states, within the colonies, that they weren't getting to. So they decided to start passing stuff out. Remember we started talking about the Federalist Papers yesterday. They started passing stuff out so these people would be able to know what was going on, so they could have a clear understanding of what was about to change in the government. I feel like getting that written down. This one.
Where do we write this down at?
Those are from the questions yesterday when we were behind the don't forget in your interactive notebook that should go behind those Constitution notes that we did. Remember how we funny glued it into the notebooks? So when you looked over when you looked over the Constitution notes, you should have all these answers right here. Where I said you don't have to write the questions, just the answers. But if you didn't get all these, I'm going to put them up in the Canvas. So if you feel like I'm going too fast, my apologies. But I will have them in Canvas so you can get everything that you're missing. I'll make sure they get in during next year. So for 1B, how did the Anti-Federalists and Federalists differ in their views on national government? Who can tell me what the Federalists wanted in terms of their national government? Oh, in a certain aspect. The Federalists wanted a strong national government, while the Anti-Federalists wanted more power within the states. It's good, right? So Anti-Federalists opposed the ratification of the Constitution in favor of small, localized governments, while the Federalists who supported the Constitution were in favor of a stronger national republic. Why did some people want the states to have more power? They could do more things, they could get away with more. Not get away with more necessarily, but they had more rights, more freedoms. When you have to answer to somebody, some people start to get mad about that. 2A. Who were the authors of the Federalist Papers? In the readings yesterday, there were 3 of them.
James Madison and John Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison. Oh, there's that James Madison guy again. I guess he's kind of important in all this. So these were the guys that created the Federalist Papers. Who can tell me what name did they disguise themselves as in the papers that they were sending, in the newsletters? No, they were the framers of the Constitution. What was the name? It starts with P. That they were hiding under while they were sending these to the newspaper to be printed. Publius. So how did the Federalist Papers contribute to the ratification debate? One more time. So it provided a platform through which proponents of the Constitution could speak their minds and try to convince the general public to support the Constitution. So I told my last class, how do y'all find stuff out today? Y'all have all kinds of social media, an abundance of it. Y'all have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that other good stuff, Snapchat. Y'all pass along information like that. When I was a kid, and my dad, his dad, all throughout this time, they had newspapers that passed out the news. It was important to read the news every day. That's how everything was spread. So I used to read the paper when I was in high school just for the sports section. And then I learned about this thing called Sports Center. And I was like, oh, I'm done with the paper. I don't have to use that anymore.
Hold on, what year you graduated?
13.
In high school? You would have done the same thing we did.
What?
You
Facebook and all that
I'm
stuff.
like, you ain't that. I say you ain't that old.
It wasn't all that popular when I was growing up, though. I mean, you had a Facebook, but we rarely used it. We played a farm bill on it. That's when we used our Facebook.
Yeah, you listen to TV when you were popular?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but anyways, back then to get information out, these guys would send it through the newspaper. Remember, they were under the name of Publius. That's how they were spreading their information. They were trying to gain traction so they could get more supporters of the Constitution, so it'd be easier for them to ratify it. And while I know the book said that the Constitutional Convention was supposed to be in secrecy, this is how they got information out. They were able to spread it so people could be more aware of what was going on. They were keeping their citizens informed. So 3A, why did the Anti-Federalists insist on a Bill of Rights? I like that one. What you got?
I feel it's supposed to guarantee that people feel the living.
It guarantees people the civil liberties. That's good. So the Anti-Federalists believed that a Bill of Rights was needed to prevent the central government from taking rights from states and citizens. The Anti-Federalists, when they said yes to finally ratifying the Constitution, they wanted guarantees that their rights would be protected. They didn't want all this stuff to get taken away from them. Remember, under the Articles of Confederation, the states could do just about whatever they wanted. The central government was asking them, hey, we need to raise an army. And they'd say, I'm okay. Thank you, though. They didn't have to. Now, they're saying, hey, if you want us to join your side, there's certain things that we need to be protected. And we're about to start going over those. Don't forget, we're doing the Bill of Rights today. This is start explaining out what those rights they wanted. that one? So 3B, what might have happened if the Federalists had failed to make good on their promise of a Bill of Rights? What do y'all think would have happened? That James Madison said, yeah, we'll make you a Bill of Rights, but then at the last minute lied and said no.
I put that pretty angry.
There will be a more Federalist or the other parts of the Constitution.
If the Federalists made false promises about it, including the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, revolts from the people would have been inevitable. So if I'm a firm believer that I don't think the Constitution is good, I think the states need more power, you come and tell me, hey, we'll give you this Bill of Rights to protect some of the stuff that you want to have guaranteed, and y'all lie to me, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna get upset. Maybe I'll start going to the papers, making my fake name, getting people to rise, retaliate. And that was a speculative question, so you never know what really would have happened because it didn't happen. But I mean, who knows? It might have started a small civil war between the colonists. It could have prevented the Constitutional Convention, or it could have made it stretch even longer. I mean, I think it said it lasted like 10 months in the book, if that's what it said. This could have lasted like 2 years. So after you get done with that one, go ahead and grab that worksheet, the little closed notes I just passed to you. To start that, we're gonna have a short little video. I know it's cheesy, the videos I play y'all, but just bear with me. It is boring, yes sir.
We need the textbook.
You should be done with the textbook now.
What's the one needed?
No sir. If you grab the textbook, you can put it back on the shelf real fast before we get started. Wait, my person doing this one, you got it? So at the top of that closed notes I gave you, I know I tell y'all to put y'all's warm-ups in random spots. This one right here, I have it at the top of your worksheet for you, so we know exactly where to put it today. That way I don't have to go hunting for it whenever I start checking your interactive notebooks.
Do we need our notebook?
To glue this in there in just a minute, but I'll show you where to do it. You got it, sir. And if you miss those, some of those, I'll put them up in Canvas for y'all. So, all right. So make sure as you're going, you list 2 things the government is responsible for according to the preamble and describe each one in your own words. This is just a precursor of what we did yesterday, trying to get y'all going back about what we're talking about so we can keep moving forward. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Mr. DJ, make sure we're paying attention.
In 1787, I'm told our founding fathers did agree to write a list of principles for keeping people free. The USA was just starting out a whole brand new country, and so our people spelled it out, the things that we should be. And they put those principles down on paper and called it the Constitution. And it's been helping us run our country ever since then. The first part of the Constitution is called the Preamble and tells what those founding fathers set out to do. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. 1787, I'm told, our founding fathers all sat down and wrote a list of principles that unite the world around. The USA was just starting as a whole brand new country, and so our people spelled it out. They wanted a land of liberty, and the preamble goes like this. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, for the United States of America.
The Bill of Rights. I promise when we watch the second video, it's a little bit better. So the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, it's compromise between Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. Oh, there goes that word again, compromise. It seems like the Constitutional Convention, we do nothing but compromise. Why is that? We are trying to appease everybody. Everybody needs to be a cohesive unit moving forward. If we're all going to live together, we need to be in harmony. Oh, James Madison, there's that guy again. He wrote down 12 amendments and only 10 of them were ratified. So remember in the book, it said thousands have been attempted to ratify, and only 27 have actually been amended. So that means thousands have been denied. So the Bill of Rights spells out Americans' rights in relation to their government. It guarantees civil rights and liberties to the individual. It enshrines the right of all people in our country and affirms the democratic values of human dignity, equality, and freedom. So the First Amendment.
What's on your board?
So the First Amendment, freedom of speech, assembly, press, petition, and religion. It's not just spoken word, but also certain kinds of expressions are protected. No words that may cause danger or violence, though. It provides the 5 fundamental freedoms. It protects citizens from having their rights violated. It keeps the concept of state and religion separate. It enables the people to be publicly critical of public figures without being sued. So under this, I am allowed to go out and petition. If I don't like what my Board of Education is doing, I could go make a sign saying I want somebody new. I want somebody new. I can stand out there all day if I want to. I know recently they had all those people standing out at the Chick-fil-A on Bass Road. They were, for whatever reason, they were out there. They were making signs, walking around.
So like, It say like no worse than cause danger of violence. I'm like, this is.
So that's not me saying like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up.
No,
That's
I know.
what
Like I'm just saying like, so like if you were running for some like board education, you say, oh, if y'all don't elect me, I'm gonna shoot up the whole board
That-
education. That's basically what it's saying.
Yeah, that. So it doesn't protect those rights.
I agree.
It does not protect those rights. But the religion portion, I'm a Catholic. This ensures that I can go to church every Sunday if I want to go to Mass. I'm allowed to. If you're Islamic or Muslim, you get to pray the 5 pillars. That ensures that you are protected and well within your right to do that. Like I was saying a minute ago, you're allowed to go and petition. Those people at Bass Road were out there for like 5 months. For whatever reason it was, I just wanted my Chick-fil-A. They were all in the way. But it also, a lot of y'all, I don't know if y'all are old enough, when Trump was on Twitter, he was getting in all that trouble and people were criticizing him. We have the right to criticize those who are above us within reason. We're allowed to say, hey, I don't like Trump, I don't like what he's doing, this and that. You're not allowed to say the bad things. That one lady had the picture of Trump with his head or whatever. She got in a lot of trouble for that. Those aren't protected in that. But if you're going to say, hey, I don't like Trump because of this reason he does this reason he does this, within reason, those are usually protected. So the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. And no, I'm not talking about my beautiful muscles. I'm talking about guns. So the debate over who can bear arms. The court says individuals can, but there are certain limits like bans on assault weapons, and there's mandatory background checks. I know now you have to be or have to bring a valid ID. I think they prohibited felons from. So if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to have a weapon now.
Yes, they is.
But within, not
Yes, they
legally,
is.
sir. Not legally. Come on now. But
Everybody
the
got a
Second
gun these
Amendment,
days.
it contains 2 clauses. There's the prefatory clause. It asserts that a well-regulated militia is required for the protection of a free state. So my interpretation of that, they were making this in the 1700s. My interpretation is, in the Revolutionary War, a militia was very important to the states. It was guys that lived in those colonies that got together and they went out and helped fought. They were usually the guys on the front line. They wanted to preserve that right for us to have a militia in case times of war came upon us. They wanted somebody to be able to protect us. I like to compare that today. You can go to any mall, just about anywhere in Georgia, and you can find a place to sign up for your U.S. Army, for your Navy, for your Air Force. I like to consider those the same things. That protects that. There's also the operative clause within the Second Amendment, and that's the one that recognizes the right of people to keep and bear arms. So within reason, if you pass the background check, if you're not a convicted felon, if you have your ID, you are legally allowed to own your weapon.
You gotta be like 18, right?
And 18, good, yes sir. Forgot about that part. When you get old, you start forgetting the age requirements.
I don't care what they got. I got guns.
21 to get a pistol, and it's 18 for like the assault rifle.
Well, I really don't like to keep guns in my house anymore. I got 2 little boys, so I'm scared my oldest. He gets into everything. I just don't want anything bad to happen. So I got my guns like I showed you a second ago. That's how I protect this. But the Third Amendment, it bans the government from forcing people to provide lodging for soldiers in their homes, except in extreme situations. This is because of the King's Quartering Act during the Revolutionary War. However, it does not preclude the government from occupying private property for other reasons, such as law enforcement or national security. So, I know a lot of us like to watch TVs and stuff. My fiance and I, we like watching a lot of crime shows. Those police officers, when they're looking at a guy, what do? They go knock on somebody's door like, hey, we need to borrow your apartment so we can scan the place, so we can keep an eye on this guy, watching to see if he does something bad. That's what that's referring to. But it is one of the least invoked amendments in legal cases. I want to say the last time that this actually happened, people going into other people's houses, like the War of 1812. And That was a lot different back then, because now we are having a war fought on our home. If I live in Georgia and you have me fighting in Virginia, where am I gonna sleep? I'm a soldier. I don't wanna sleep on the dirt. I'm not sleeping outside. I'm coming inside. I want you to cook me a hot meal. And I think you should sleep on the couch while I sleep in the bed. But a lot of people still let the soldiers come into their house then, because they were fighting for our protection. So the Fourth Amendment, it bans unreasonable searches and seizures. It states that you must have a warrant, which is granted when probable cause of finding evidence of a crime. The Fourth Amendment states police must have a good reason for conducting a search. They can't just say, hey, I don't like the hoodie you're wearing, and start searching your pockets. There's gotta be probable cause.
They do that anyway, though.
Legally, they're not supposed to. The warrants must mention the exact place to be searched, as well as any possessions or people to be seized or arrested. I had a lot of questions from my first period. What if they have a warrant to search my house, but my car is parked down the street? Can they still search that? That is a great question. So if y'all have a question like that, please bear with me. I will do my research, my due diligence tonight. And I will try to answer that for us tomorrow. Because I'm also interested to know that. Because how does it work? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I said too. I said, well,
What if my house is my car? That's all they can search.
yeah, I'm bad at that.
That's the most you can search.
Yes, sir, Mr. DJ. Seizures? Like searching and seizures, like you seize possession of somebody's stuff. So if I go into your house and I'm looking for an assault rifle that's not registered to you, I can seize it from you. Not like seizure, like not that. No. I really don't. That's, so people out there dying like that? No, it's different stuff. So another question I was asked a lot in first period was, how long does it take to get a warrant? It all depends. Sometimes it could take 24 hours. Sometimes you could get it in a week or two. So it all just varies on the length of that to the extent of your crime. So the Fifth Amendment. Provides methods for trying people accused of crimes. Double jeopardy. You can't be tried for the same thing twice. I know I spelled the word wrong right there. It's self-incrimination. I don't know what happened to me right there while I was making that, but it is self-incrimination, not incrimination or whatever it is. Self-incrimination. So due process clause. They need a fair judicial trial. Or fair judicial procedures. Not trials, procedures, sorry. So individuals cannot be forced to testify against themselves in a criminal trial. Talking about those crime scene or crime shows that I like to watch. What happens when something bad happens, they get caught? Oh, I plead the fifth. That's where this comes from. You hold the right to remain silent so you don't incriminate yourself. The more you talk, the more trouble you get in sometimes. The due process. The government must give people notice and an opportunity to be heard before adopting acts that will jeopardize their rights and interests. It ensures that individuals are treated fairly and that their rights are respected when confronted with court process or other government acts. So talking about the Double Jeopardy again, right there. How many of y'all have actually seen the movie Double Jeopardy? I think it came out when I was a kid.
What happened?
The movie Double Jeopardy. So it's about a lady, her and her husband go on a cruise, and she gets accused of murdering her husband, and she goes through this long, extensive process. Turns out the husband is really alive. But she's already been tried for the murder of her husband. But now they find out he's living, so she was exonerated. She turns around and kills him for real this time. So they couldn't try her because she'd already been tried for it. That's Double Jeopardy, that's a weird movie to think about it like that, but that's the exact process of
So
it.
she got to just.
So yeah, but it's a movie.
I'm shoot. No. Now I can do it.
It's
in
not
real
based
life.
on a true story. You have to be exonerated from your first time though.
I know. So if I get exonerated for my first time, I can go read.
I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not putting that. I'm not saying yes or no.
Can you do that?
I don't know if it would work. That don't work in real life. But the example I used in my last class as well is, say I needed a new refrigerator, because I think Katie and I really do, my fiance and I really do need a new one. Say I bust up into Best Buy and they don't have any cameras. I put a refrigerator on my back and I walk out with it. They try to press charges, give me arrested, this and that. I was like, oh, no face, no case, y'all don't have proof. So now I decide to go in there. My little boy, he has a 24-inch television. Maybe I think he deserves a 55-inch. So I walk in there and I don't notice this time they set up the cameras. Now I am on camera. That's two different crimes, yes, but I'm on camera this time, so they got me. So I can get arrested for that one. If I was to go back for the fridge, even if they saw me, I'm fair. No, I'll weirded myself out right there. No, I don't like that one. I'll find y'all a good example for that too. I don't want to give y'all ideas. I don't want
Nah, you gave us some ideas.
to just cancel that.
I can
Well, that's exactly right. You
something
can't carry the whole fridge.
I can kill someone. Someone's fake dead, but they not dead.
I'm not giving you yes or no on that, buddy.
No, you already told me this.
So, what we're gonna do now for this assignment, this is gonna be our test portion outside of School City. This is gonna be my test for y'all. I want us, in our own words on the front side, to create or rewrite the Bill of Rights. So, try to make space or leave space, because tomorrow we're doing 6 through 10. We're only doing 1 through 5 today. So try to leave some space so we can do 6 through 10 tomorrow. But give me your interpretation. Give me your interpretation. Just how long enough where you get all 10 of them. But on the back side, no, pass it that way. On the back side, I want y'all to write a Bill of Rights for Mr. B's classroom. And be within reason. Y'all know the rules, what you're supposed to write and what not to write. So, but some of these, try to do your best on, because some of these I'm going to post on the lockers outside so other people can see our work. I'll grab you in a second.
You guys be done right now.
No, sir, we're gonna hold it on. We're gonna hold on to it. This is something that we're gonna do today and tomorrow, and I'll give y'all the weekend to finish it to make sure. This one should be good. Oh man, I forgot to show y'all the cool video. So this video is going to talk about the Bill of Rights again. It's another song. This one's a lot better than the first video. But it does talk about all 10 amendments. So you'll get a precursor to what we're doing tomorrow. So while y'all start on that, y'all could be listening.
Writers still have to go look at it twice. Cause the states that refuted said, here's some advice. It should guarantee freedom, yeah, that would be nice. So the founder said, oh, like you the Bill of Rights. Yep, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. Well, the Constitution took days and nights. But the writers still have to go look at it twice. Cause the people refuted said, here's some advice. It should guarantee freedom, yeah, that would be nice. So the founder said, oh, like you the Bill of Rights. Yep, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. Number 1 says we can worship as we please. We can have meetings, large assemblies. We can write what we want. It's called the freedom of press. What we feel, we can say out loud. We can express.
Yes, concerned about securing your house and your farm. Through Amendment 2, you have the right to bear arms. In order to be free, do you get the picture? Each state has the right to form its own militia.
Number 3 says no soldiers in homes. The government can't just force you to loan your own any private house so their soldiers can sleep, especially not in times of peace.
The Fourth Amendment is sure to get applause. No searches or seizures without probable cause. But when there is belief that a crime has been done, a warrant can be ordered then to search someone.
Then on to the Fifth Amendment, no need to tell the government things that might send you to jail. You cannot be accused of the same crime twice, that would put you in a double jeopardy, it's not right. Oh, the Constitution took days and nights, but the writers still have to go look at it twice. Cause the states that reviewed it said, here's some advice, it should guarantee freedom, yeah, that would be nice. So the founders said, oh, like the Bill of Rights, yep, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. Well, the Constitution took days and nights, but the writers still have to go look at it twice. Cause the people reviewed it said, here's some advice, it should guarantee freedom, yeah, that would be nice. So the founders said, oh, like the Bill of Rights, yep, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights.
Number 6 gives 6 rights to the accused, like the right to know which law you might have abused. Begins the right to a fair and public trial, your own defense counsel, you know there's no denial.
I'll tell you 7 is simple when a trial is civil, meaning that no one in the dispute is a criminal. You can ask for a jury in these cases too, usually they're over money somebody wants to sue.
For the 8th Amendment, we compliment our government. It won't allow truth or unusual punishment. Face the judge's hammer and end up in the slammer. You won't pay excessive bail in any given manner.
All the rights that we have, says Amendment 9, cannot be confined only to these written lines. Just because a freedom isn't here on this list, the government cannot say it does not exist.
What was meant when the last of the 10 was written? Government only has power it is given in order to be equal. Power not listed in the Constitution shall be given to the people.
Well, the Constitution took days and nights, but the writers still have to go look at it twice. Cause the states that reviewed it said, here's some advice, it should guarantee freedom, yeah, that would be nice. So the founders said, oh, like the Bill of Rights, yep, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. Well, the Constitution took days and nights, but the writers still have to go look at it twice. Cause the people reviewed it said, here's some advice, it should guarantee freedom, yeah, that would be nice. So the founders said, oh, like the Bill of Rights, yep, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights, the Bill of.
So if it makes y'all feel any better, I had to email my 9th grade American government teacher, because both of those videos we watched today, I actually watched when I was y'all age. So the torture I had to do, I wanted to do to y'all. I know they're cheesy and fun. I think they're fun.
You remember your
sometimes.
9th grade teacher?
But so for the last little bit of class, that's what I want us working on. On that blank sheet of paper, you are rewriting me the Bill of Rights in your words. Give me your interpretation. On the back side, you are creating a Bill of Rights for my classroom. What rules and regulations would you like to amend for my classroom? Like I said, within reason, y'all know the rules, what we're supposed to write and not to write.
You want us to rewrite all 10 Bill of Rights?
So today we're doing the first 5. So tomorrow, y'all are keeping up with that paper. And tomorrow, at the bottom, we'll do 6 through 10. So today we're doing 1 through 5 on both sides, for the rewriting of the Bill of Rights and for my Bill of Rights. Yes, sir. It'll be on the front and back. This is going to be your assessment other than School City. Yes, sir. So you're going to rewrite over 10. So leave enough space for the first 10 on the front side. Give me your interpretation. And then on the back, you're going to do 1 through 10. You're going to write rules and regulations you want in my class. Yes, ma'am. So this page, the closed notes, when you get done with that, so we have all those questions we did at the beginning of the class, then we have our letter we wrote. As soon as you turn it over, that's where we're going to glue the notes from today. So tomorrow when we do 6 through 10, they'll go on that side. So you'll have all of them together. On the left side. just in your own interpretation. But save yourself enough space to do 6 through 10 on the bottom. So we're doing 1 through 10. So it'll be 10 on the front side and 10 on the back. So that'll go on that side as well. And then those notes, the closed notes from the preamble, the Constitution, all that other stuff. Now that one's gonna go on the back of the side. If you need another one of those other ones, I can have it. Tomorrow will be 6 through 10. But so on the front side, on both sides, you should have 1 through 10. Today you should be able to do the first 5. Those is for my class. What amendments would you want in my class?
Should you be writing your amendments down? Exactly, you don't tell me when I already did it. I send your paper, you don't have like 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6 through 10 tomorrow.
You said interpret your own. You're making like a cheat code. You're not writing the whole amendment. The amendment's there the way you told us to do. Amendments are. You don't have even nothing on your paper and you talking. No. How do you get to talk when you haven't even done it? And all you do is sit there in the corner chilling down.
These plans today.